we're live.
All
That
right.
should just be the absolute terror and fireball everything.
Fireball.
Oh no!
Fireball.
This man out here being a fucking Clash of Clans wizard.
All right. Everybody good to go?
Yep.
Perfect. All right. So, as we go ahead and kick off today's one-shot, which is sadly what we have to do, but nonetheless, that's what we'll go ahead and get ourselves into. As our intrepid gang of, well, misbegotten rogues, thieves, and other coincided ne'er-do-wells, after finally traveling north and making it to a destroyed and decrepit city of Feldrake, something that has been sieged over and over again until the city was nothing but a shell of its former self. A small scattering of a population, a city that used to reign over 30,000, now holding many of about 300 left. Being ruled over by a lord of Hilric and his second in command. The city itself has found itself in dire times. The farmsteads around have been finding themselves growing less and less over the years. The scavengers and collectors of the large battlefields that have grown immensely around the city have found themselves pulling in less and less of these delicate pieces of lost and now regained equipment. The only boon to the city is a large clock tower, something that has been standing and will stand the test of time. Through sieges and through anything but a natural disaster of the scale of the gods would not be needed to destroy this tower. Standing roughly about 300 feet in the air. Made of stone, brass, silver, and gold. Ever ticking, ever controlled. The city of Feldrake welcomes you, as quiet as it is. Its somber guards that just greet you with a nod of the head, not even asking for a toll. You enter through these, well, wouldn't call them streets, would you? Filled with rubble, destroyed pieces of stone and housework. Even the people that you run into look gaunt, as if ghosts that should roam these long and forgotten halls. You find yourselves to a local tavern known as the Magnificent Ox. An old man stands heed at the tavern. A thinning bald head, but some hair still remains. He looks very strong for his age. Stands roughly about 6'1". The curtailed tweed jacket and pants that he wears looks to be as if an old rider, someone who would be with a cavalry rather than someone who might be at a tavern's edge. But we pick up here as our party finds themselves setting themselves up at the Magnificent Docks. Either traveling through or finding work. That's what we'll pick up for you.
Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy. Seems we're running a bit low on funds, I suppose. Anyone got an idea what we can do?
I mean, we could look through the city, try to find something to do, or we could just check the next one. Although, why waste a perfectly good opportunity when we have one?
Well, I suppose. Not that bad of an idea. What about you?
I mean, the best we could do is more than likely just go to one of the local taverns and see if there's any quests about.
I mean, sure. I would have personally preferred to go maybe to the guards. They probably know something more than local tavern owners, but, you know, we don't really have much choice on the matter, do we?
I mean, technically, we do have choice.
Yeah, but you get what I mean.
You
I
see that
mean,
look of confusion.
looking how the city looks like, do you really think a tavern owner will have money to spare for someone to do a straight errand?
I don't necessarily think they're going to have money to spare. I just think that they're probably more in touch with the local troubles. Because,
We have
you see, I don't think the guard will have much to say to someone who isn't actively helping them against the sieges.
The city has been on dire straits. It hasn't been sieged in a while. It's no longer considered important. It's the battlegrounds and proving grounds around it have since become, well, abstinent in bloodshed. From
Anyways,
what's known.
yeah. I suppose we could just... Yeah, you know what, let's just go and see if someone knows anything about work. Again, I don't think the guard's going to be too happy to speak with us immediately. Probably just another fucking thorn in their eye.
In desperate times, you never know. Granted, the city's in a kind of just look around uptight mood. No doubt there's going to be some work for some group to try to fix things, wouldn't you say?
Maybe.
If anything, we could walk into the more troubled parts of the city. I would be guessing that they're currently facing the harshest reality and would have more to do.
They might have more to do, but do you really think they can spare anything? At that point, we're working for Goodwill.
Would be
Let's
such a
go
bad thing.
Let's go and just see if we could try to offer services either to a tavern owner, or if we're lucky, maybe the lord of this albeit backwater place.
You know what? Let's go to the tavern. People who can get a drink can at least spare some coin.
Alright.
I mean, sound reasoning.
Very well.
So, gathering yourselves and getting to the magnificent Ox. Once again, you are greeted by a relatively tall man, old looking, maybe late 50s, early 60s. Looks very good for his age. His strength seems well refined and retained for at least someone of his stature. Bald and thinning head with a long nose, kind of a squinty look to his eyes. Definitely looks strong, but old. Gentlemen, something I could do for you.
Oh, we are seeking work, if there's anything to be done.
There's always plenty of work to be done here. Whether it be killing things, sorting out the city, or helping at the clock tower. So what'll it be for you?
Or may I really quick have names for everyone? We're just asking out of character. I do assume that we have traveled together for.
You guys traveled together for a little while.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose you would know Valis, because, you know,
Yeah.
he's
Valis
same
is
old, same
Valis.
old. Yeah. And then my character today is named Grothgrand, who's...
Greithgrun.
there's a
We shall call you Grod.
Ah, okay.
Rod for
Rod.
short. Yeah, Rod is good.
Yeah.
My character's just named Nim.
Just so you have, I guess, an image, or, like, something to orient yourself at. Grod's a pretty large half-orc, from what I can muster. Pretty strong. Bit, like, he's got some presence to him. He's a bit intimidating. But, you know, everything else seems kind of normal. Well, except the fact that he has a giant emblem emblazoned on his shield. But, the use of that, you'll see. I mean, you've probably seen already. It's helped you probably out of a ditch or two. But he doesn't seem quite as versatile as a normal cleric would be. Let's just say that.
Not as versatile. Yeah.
Nim is
So,
gonna look towards his two companions, just ask, so, what would you two be interested in doing?
I mean, I'd be down to eradicate some wildlife.
We don't speak of it as such.
Well, we don't know if it's just some pack of wolves or something.
I mean, if it is,
they are normally wolves around here. The things that normally plague the city are left over from some of the many sieges that have gone on. Some of the old defenders of the city have sometimes gone rogue after taking too much punishment. And, well, there are always the stragglers left over. So you're looking at bands of feral orcs. You're looking at bits and pieces of half-dragon here and there. Sometimes the latter and the former will band together and resort some sort of resistance against the god.
Oh,
so
no.
it's ex-soldiers that we speak of.
Normally, yes.
Well, nothing we haven't handled yet, right?
Yeah, I mean, this could be
Hmm.
a good way to get some cash.
Well, the guard does pay well for any assistant. I believe it's 2 gold pieces per head brought back from the old servants of the city. And then I believe it's another gold piece per ear you bring back from the orc and other infestations.
I think that should be simple enough.
It's quite a generous payment.
Indeed.
Well, they want it dealt with and see the conditions of the city.
What's the location of these miscreants? Would you know where they tend to gather?
You'd have to talk with the guard, sadly. I don't know much about it outside the tavern. People come to me when they need them, well, their wounds patched up, or when they need someone to talk to. Other than that, I find myself by my lonesome, so no apologies.
Well, it seems like we have a place to go to now.
Yes,
Nim's gonna stand up again, just start heading towards the door.
I suppose, and I dearly excuse. I hope you excuse us for disturbing your tranquility, sir. We wish you a nice day.
No tranquility offered here, but I thank you for your offer. And gives you a kind of a bleak smile. You guys head out and kind of following around. Generally, since you guys have a somewhat innate sense of thinking, you guys are able to find yourselves over to one of the local guardhouses. The usual black armored individuals are standing there, still rather silent. You see one of them actually has his helmet off. First one you've actually seen with this. You currently see the face is pale white, as if lacking in blood. You see the hair is almost a stark grayish white that's very, very well combed. See, with almost a mechanical precision, they're writing out something on a ledger. And looks up. Yes, is there something we can do for you?
Yes, indeed. We were interested in knowing the location of any of the miscreants' dens. Rogues from the army, from what I've heard. Deserters?
Yes. Well, those are normally to your eastern and western sides of the city, respectively. The further east you go, the more undead are toiling. And those we've normally blocked off. We've created somewhat of a wall between the western portions. The east, you're normally looking for orc. We've cleared out most of those half-dragons that have found themselves in but the orcs are still prevalent. We're not sure where they come from. If you were to find out where, it'd be very much a boon to us.
We've heard there was a reward for orcs. What about the undead?
Well, the undead. The reward is much smaller. They're not very hard to pick off, but they are numerous. We normally offer about a silver piece per piece of equipment you can bring back.
Which one troubles you more?
The orc. The undead normally toil where they were, well, felled. The orc try and continue their raids into the city. There's not much left here, but whatever it is there that is, they will try and take it.
Well, it seems we have a location. I appreciate the help, and we'll do our best to try and clear as many of them as we can.
I thank you on behalf of the guard and Lord Hilric himself. If you wish to try anywhere, try the furthest east section of the old district.
So we will do.
Oh, and before I forget, goes over and actually pulls out a small scroll of parchment and he hands it to you. And unfurl it, looks to be an actual map of the city.
Would you mind? He's gonna hand the guard some form of writing utensil, either ink or some charcoal. Would you mind circling the area that we should be checking on?
Certainly. Takes out a small pen, the one that he'd been using, and he marks out this little area here. If you need me to mark it in red, I will.
I think it's fine like this.
Yeah.
Alright. Well, that's what you see.
Well, we'll head off then. I do thank you for the protection you provide to these people, and we will try to help as much as we can.
We are but 15 men. And we protect a city of 300. I thank you for your condolences towards us.
Nim is gonna roll up the map again and look towards the other two.
Alright. You roll up and you look at them. And you currently see, look to be battle-ready people. Hopefully.
Well, it's time to go chase some orcs, I suppose. He's gonna start heading outside of the guardhouse, getting his bow off his back already.
Mhm. So, getting away through the city. You guys doing it quiet, or are you guys not heeding any stealth?
I mean, I suppose we. I guess discretion is not really an option, since in a city of 300, everyone would know everyone.
Well, that and also, given that this, what are these? A couple blocks. Once we pick up the first, everyone's gonna know anyway. Not like there's much room for stealth.
Yeah.
So, especially since you're running around with a 6'3" orc clad in chainmail, who's clinking with every step.
Clink, clink, clank, clink, clank, clink, clank, clank, clank.
Yeah, I don't do stealth. I don't know about you guys.
Well, I mean, let's just go and get there. We'll see what we have to go up against. So I'm guessing we're not really heeding stealth much. We're just walking normally.
Alright, so starting from the Magnificent Ox right here, you guys start making your way through the streets. If you make it to this intersection, will have
Nim would
Vantage
be
Point.
Nim would be at all points just looking around, just in case somehow the orcs had moved out of that area
Yeah.
or any other dangers.
Grod's gonna be very close. He's basically acting as a bodyguard.
Would be perception.
Yes, go ahead and make your perception check.
And Grod's gonna give you a little pat on the back and cast guidance. So add a d4 to your check result.
Alright, perception, that is... Oh boy. Oh boy. And a D4 you said?
Yep.
Yep.
Right. So that would be a 28.
28. These are destroyed and ruined city streets. If you would try and see something, if it were hiding, it's going to be difficult. But you start picking out bits and pieces here of what look to be bits and pieces of bone sticking out through the rubble, and you spot this out at roughly, 40 to 50 yards. And you're seeing this a lot. Definitely looks like a lot of the rubble here serves as makeshift graves for those who weren't buried. As you continue along, Grodd and Vullis behind you, and you start surging your way through, and you actually hear sounds of what sounds like heavy shifting of stone, like something is lifting a piece of stone and then setting it down. So it's grumbles to itself, picks it up again, continues moving.
Are there any bits of like grumbling or dialogue we can pick out?
You being a half-orc, yes, this is orcish.
Hey Grodd,
Yeah.
do you recognize anything?
Oh, someone's speaking Orcish.
Do you think you'd be able to infiltrate, like not really infiltrate, just approach them and attempt to make some form of seemingly friendly connection, or Valis and I just flank them?
I can try.
If
Don't
anything
don't bank
occurs,
on it, but
I mean, I do believe we have plenty of firepower to back you up if things should go wrong.
let's just say if you hear him get aggravated, that's your cue. And
Right.
I suppose Grodd's gonna take point and try to approach the source of noise.
Yeah. Nim is meanwhile gonna try to like sneak through like small alleys or climb whatever rubble he can in order to get a more hidden position, but still make his way towards the noise.
Go ahead and make me a stealth check.
Ooh. All right, that's a 17.
You guys would be
Wait,
just
yeah.
about getting into here, this section in between these buildings. So, just building to your top side. Currently have making your way through the alleyways. Apologies for the crudity of the model. Currently making my way through this.
Don't worry about it.
So, through this, as you guys are crawling your way through, most of this is rubble, so it's pretty easy to get around it. So, you are currently shifting your way through the rubble. Let's see, you're climbing against that wall. You guys would be shifting along this edge here when you would see what looks to be about 3 works.
Well, Grodd's not necessarily trying to be sneaky, since he's trying to approach the
I
orcs in a friendly
understand.
manner.
In the meantime, Nim is gonna start drawing his bow and aiming towards the orc, but not yet shooting.
So, weapons
As you
and
walk
shield.
forward.
Yeah.
All right, so weapon and shield drawn?
No, sheathed.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
sheathed,
for Grodd, they're sheathed because he doesn't want
Yeah.
to approach them with
For
weapons
Nim,
drawn.
like, should the orcs try anything aggressive on Grodd, he's just gonna shoot.
All right. So Grodd comes out around Vullis here behind him, staying at this corner. And Grodd, you're coming around. Just go ahead. Grodd. As you look forward, you see these 2 orcs are currently lifting what looks to be a piece of rubble. Looks to be a large piece of rubble, roughly about that sized. And it looks to have bits and pieces of shimmer to it. See, as the light kind of catches it, it reflects here and there. And as they're lifting it, you see the one orc off to the far left currently looks to have a bow and arrow to him. And he looks kind of concerned and confused at you. He speaks in orcish since he realizes you have the look of a half-orc. Oi, you there. What are you doing this far at?
I mean, kind of hard not to hear you working your butt off.
That's not the question. What are you doing out here, so far away from the boss, eh?
I mean,
Where's
hey,
the only one supposed to be out here?
sorry, just trying, can hear you from half a mile away, it feels like. So, thought I would look around, see what what caused the commotion. I mean, you look like you could need some help.
See the two orcs who are lifting kind of look at you and give you that. Like, we don't need help. And they go and lift it once again, but this time they don't move it. It's just and they set it back down, and they're huffing and puffing.
Well, at least looks like those two need a break.
And look over at you with a death stare. The one on guard with the bow and arrow. Maybe they do. Maybe they do. But the boss wants his back. So, he told us to find something shiny. Well, he's done found something shiny for him.
Were I able to identify what exactly the rock is that shines in it?
From what you can tell, there are bits and pieces of... there are actually what looks to be pieces of jewelry kind of lodged into the rock here. This actually, from what you can tell, looks to be some sort of a stone from a catapult or siege engine that either impacted into some sort of treasure chest or some sort of lockbox. Because it looks like on one end of it, and it looks to be quite literally on just one end, looks to be indented into it pieces of gold, bits of jewelry, and bits and pieces of gems that have been crushed.
I mean, depending on the hardness of the gem, it would just be encrusted but not broken.
I mean, there are some gems in here that look like they were broken by the power of the siege engine crashing into it. But some of them still look in order, yeah.
Alright. Would Nim be able to sneak over like the rooftop and just get a position around here maybe?
Go ahead and make me an acrobatics check.
Acrobatics. That is a 13.
I mean, it's difficult considering how or the level of destruction to these buildings. But yeah, you can shuffle over and just get yourself onto the rooftop. It'll take you a few minutes, as Grodd is currently there and talking with them. You make your way over and hide just about the corner of the building. And you peer over and have a good line of sight over these orcs.
So, given that they're not quite buying Grodd's shtick, he's kind of running out of material. And
Would Grodd be like? I'm guessing Nim is gonna only make an effort to hide from these three. He's not actually gonna make an effort to hide from his party. So I do assume that Grodd knows more or less where Nim is.
I mean, he'd kind of assume that you'd be nearby. Like he knows that you're somewhat stealthy at least. So you're always trying to look for a vantage point, and he'd assume that Nim probably has a vantage, like has an Overwatch point somewhere. So you see Grodd's posture change a bit. He puffs out his shoulders a bit, and in a bit of a louder voice goes, "Oh, I don't know. Seems like you really don't want my help, huh?"
No, we don't want your help. Zog off.
Yeah, about that. And
you see the orc actually starts pulling out an arrow. And he looks like he's about to knock it.
Yep, and in that second, Grodd gets ready and shakes his pulls out his mace and
something.
Yes, Wallace, what would you like to do?
As they're, bickering. I wish to hold up. Let me just get my. Let me look down my spells that I totally prepared. Um, can I try to charm person him? The
The orc?
the yeah, trying to persuade them.
All right. So you're gonna try and charm person the orc. All right. I believe that's a charisma save or a wisdom save.
It is charisma.
Hmm.
Or
No. That's a 1, 4 minus 3.
look,
Charm
lad,
person is a wisdom, but it wouldn't really matter.
Well, you know what?
Which
It's still
one
the
is
same.
the?
The orcs are pretty dumb, so I still rolled a 4. I don't believe that passes anything.
It does not, sadly.
Which one would be charmed?
Actually, that's a good question.
Come on!
I guess the one that's talking currently with
All
the
right, so
half.
the arrow. So that would be 1 over here with the bow and arrow. So he fails it. So as soon as he's about to knock it, he just kind of. Yeah. You charmed him, but he does not consider Grodd a friend. So he's still going to attack Grodd.
All right.
So
That
Grodd,
hold,
this is an attack on you, but
hold
Yep.
on.
Yep.
This was technically a ready action.
I know that's why I was saying. So go ahead and do it.
All right. Does a 16 hit?
16 does hit. Go ahead and roll some damage.
Oh boy. That will be 7 piercing.
Yeah, so as you pull out the arrow, it whack impacts right into his shoulder as he's just about to pull out his. And you see, just as he gets smacked by it, he skitters off to the side a few paces to the left, and the other 2 orcs immediately look over to the side. They're unarmed, but you see they look behind them to where their large axes are, and you see they immediately take off. And I need all of you guys to go ahead and roll me some initiative.
Oh, heck yeah. I suppose does Grodd manage to unsheath his weapon and pull out his shield?
Weapon,
Heck
yes.
yeah!
I
So he's
got
fully
a
armed.
19.
I got an 18.
I got a 17.
Good
16.
God,
Sorry.
do you guys roll anything less than fucking Jesus Christ?
Yes, but only on characters where it matters.
Yep. Yep.
I mean, I didn't roll natural 19. I got a +4 to initiative.
I just finally rolled well. As
Happy
weird
to
as
be
it
here.
So
sounds.
I got so technically, if we're being real, I only got a 15. Thanks.
Yeah, so we rolled the same thing. I got a 16 because I have a +1.
All right. So we have 25 to 20, gentlemen. Hello.
Doesn't look it.
Nope.
20 to 15.
A 19.
19. 19 and 18.
And
Very
then a
nice.
16.
Wow, you guys have a really tight order. Oh, shit. I hate it when that happens. You know what? I can do better. One moment. Technical difficulties. We'll be right back. There we go. All right. So, first up, initiative. We currently have Volus. Volus, what would you like to do? Is currently these orcs. You see, the 2 of them are immediately starting to turn their backs to try and go and get their weapons. The one with the bow and arrow is still standing up. He looks like he's going to try and take a shot over at Grodd.
You know what? I'm time to be absolutely merciless and cast third level scorching ray. So
Go for it.
which
So this is going to be deck saves.
It is you hit him at one target of several. No, it's just roll to hit.
Roll the hit. Okay, go ahead. Roll the hit.
+6 time. I got a 26, so natural 20 +6.
That hits.
My second one, a 21 from 15.
That definitely hits.
The third one, I got a 17.
That still hits. That
then-
just hits.
The last one is a 19.
That hits. Go ahead, roll some damage.
When
didn't
we
know-
said we would be making the
And I'm
Geneva
using
Convention,
what was it? Quicken spell. So that way it's a bonus action. to
Okay.
use. Okay.
So just in case you didn't roast them thoroughly enough, you can add the finishing touch.
I mean, naturally. Okay, so first damage is a 8.
8.
Second-
Okay.
The second one is a 7.
Okay.
The third one is a 9.
Okay.
The last one is a 4.
All right. And these are all on different orcs, correct?
2 of them on. They're 2 for each orc. That is
2 for each orc. Okay.
Yep.
So they are not dead, but as you spray out your hand and you watch this ray of just blazing fire just emanate with a and it overtakes the majority of this break in the alleyways. You see as the first orc immediately just gets awashed with it, and he starts trying to pat himself out, even with his bow. And currently sees the 2 other orcs immediately feel it kind of coat their shoulders, and you hear them grimace in pain. But these are orcs. They're going to take a lot more punishment than that.
I am going to use another sorcery point to twin cast Firebolt.
Go for it. And who are they targeting?
Let's see. I assume the one with the bow that's already on fire and the same targets as before, the 2 orcs.
Go for it. So 1 and 3.
Yep. The first one is a 21 to hit. The
Hits.
other one is a 17.
17 just hits.
Okay, 2d10. Let's go.
You know they didn't suffer enough yet.
No.
They're getting roasted. The one with the bow and arrow gets 14 damage. The other one gets also 14 damage.
Jeez.
Yeah, so that's going to knock this one out. He's dead. So you watch as the firebolt takes him right in the chest, and you see as it blows a hole in the portion of it. And you just see him trying to breathe and falls over. And you hear a heavy falls to a knee and then falls over to the side. You see he's immediately even through the cauterized wound in his chest, just starts pouring out blood. The third orc just gets, as he's turning around, you hit him right in the back of the spine, and it blows it out, kind of like you did to the chest. And you currently see as the other orc just tumbles over and lands face first into the ground. After that is then Druid. Bell, what would you like to do as Volus just annihilates 2 of these orcs?
I hope you guys can handle the rest this time.
How hurt does this orc look?
He actually looks like he's going strong. He got hit with 2 of the weaker beams, but he definitely looks like he got damaged. But it looks like he's doing okay.
He thinks he's off the hook, but a third beam appears from the skies. Moonbeam is cast onto him.
Oh my god.
Yes, you got the
Alright.
one sorcerer that melts, and then you just got the secret third
Right.
beam.
So
If I-
Moonbeam.
If I
As you-
cast the spell, right, it says when a creature enters the spell's area. Does that count if I cast it on him?
I mean, technically, yes. So I'll allow
But
it.
that would be a Constitution saving throw for him.
Con save. That is a 14.
That does not save. He
By all
takes.
means.
Oh boy. That will be 16 radiant damage. And
Yeah, So, Grodd, as you ready your weapons, you suddenly see us flying out from behind and beside you. looks to be a torrent of fire and flame until you see an opening in the sky. A rift just tears open through an arcane wind of magic, and you see as what looks to be a figment of the moon blasts through this torn rift and just absolutely calls down a divine "fuck you" on this orc. And these 3 orcs are quickly felled within the span of 6 seconds.
So all of that happens in a matter of seconds. Grod just looks
matter of
around to the
seconds.
others, just goes, "Come on! I wanted to have fun today." And anyway,
First comes, first serve.
he
we
just
can go find some more.
he just walks up to the orcs and just starts decapitating them to, you know.
Remember, it's the ears for the orcs.
Oh,
They
it's
just
the
want
ears for the orcs.
Yeah,
Okay.
they just want the ears.
Oh, right, it's
I
the
mean,
it's
if
the
we
heads
take
for
the
the
foot-
it's the heads for the deserters, right?
Yep, heads
Yeah.
for the deserters.
So he
I'll
just
say
he
this
just
will
takes
be
out
making a
he just
full head.
takes out like a little knife and starts cutting off the ears.
Go ahead and make me a survival check.
All right.
Yeah.
Can I just search what orcs' pockets if they had anything?
Yeah,
Yeah, go
Nim
ahead and
would
make me
like
an investigation check.
Nim
I-
will
I
check
will
the one.
also just take a head just because it'll look nice on the mantle over the fire. I mean, what?
So
enough.
that survival check is a nat 1.
Investigation, I got a 16.
You are trying to take these orc ears, but you botch the first one horribly. Like, you try and take it, but you pretty much just sever the ear, and you almost put a dent in your hand. You do take a point of piercing damage as you just kind of like poke your thumb. You're like, ah, shit.
Nim is gonna jump down and just go like, "Let me do this."
Yeah, sure. Fucking
Yeah, you go over.
I didn't get to warm up today.
Yeah, you go over and start kind of sucking the blood off of your thumb, kind of like you would with a paper cut.
It's a survival.
Go ahead and make me a survival check.
All right.
Survival cup.
That will be a 26.
You go through and your knife is much sharper, and you seem to have a lot more experience in carving this off. So you go ahead and take 5 years.
5 years. And lastly, he would like to empty that orc's quiver and just take the arrows for himself.
By all means, you go ahead and add 10 arrows.
All right.
You just see Grod giving a fucking stare to Nim, just going, "Yeah, if I was warmed up, I could have done that."
And Volus, as you are currently going over these orc pockets, you find a silver ring, a iron necklace, and going over the small cases of stuff that they had will look to be the 2 large axes with bundles of the overcloaks. Will look to be bundles of padded armor. And kind of go through that. You find a ring of keys and what seems to be a small black onyx gem.
I got a question. I gotta make a separate inventory for this, yes?
Yes.
Hey,
Okay, so
Rod.
Believe it or not, he might tear a rift for the moon. The rift for putting this into your own inventory does not work the same. Apologies.
Hey, Grod.
Oh, I know. I was just wondering because I did not expect to find anything aside from gold. Silver ring, black gem, a silver necklace. And
You
black
are
gem.
stronger than us. Could you take their weapons, since I don't really see much use for them, and try to smash out the gems from the stone?
I mean, better than breaking my own mace at them.
Yeah, exactly. That's why. I'm
Yeah,
asking
Grod
these players.
just goes over, takes one of the battle axes, and starts using it like a freaking hammer.
Go ahead, just make me a general strength check.
All right, let's hope that this one isn't a fucking natural one. That die gets fucking cancelled. First roll of the day of that dice, and it's just a fucking nat 1. I mean, what am I supposed to tell you?
Joe, with you.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
that's a 22.
Okay, yeah. So you go ahead and bring the axe and you just start hacking into the side. It takes you a little while, like roughly about 30 or so minutes, but you start hacking into the stone, and eventually it does start breaking and cracking in places, and you're able to eventually shove out the little pieces of both gold and jewelry. You manage to get roughly about 30 gold pieces out of it.
So 30 gold pieces worth of jewelry.
No, just 30 gold pieces.
Okay.
a golden bracelet, a
Uh,
necklace,
Okay, hold on. A golden necklace.
and a bracelet, and what looks to be, as you kind of pry it out, a ruby. A very small ruby, but it looks like it was just small enough to not get crushed when this catapult ammunition landed on it.
May I ask how much the ruby would be worth?
From this size, maybe about 10 gold.
30 gold pieces, right?
Yep.
Nim is gonna put all of these like into a separate pouch in order to split it up afterwards.
Alright. So as these orcs lay smoldering, and the smell of burning orc flesh is very prevalent in this alleyway, what do you guys want to do?
Well, shall we continue the hunt then?
I mean, there's bound to be some other people around. They did mention a boss of some kind, so that'd be a good guess.
Perhaps we should have kept one alive to question him about that.
Grot just looks at Nim and just with a like very imperceptible shaking of his head, just walks on forward.
Well, we do know their general location, so we might as well continue.
Alright.
I really feel bad for the orcs. They just got annihilated.
They're orcs. They're meant to be killed. They're bad guys.
They are cannon fodder.
So making your way once again through the alleyways, just kind of pushing your way through. You're just about to enter into the circled portion from what you can figure. Go ahead and make me another perception check, Nim.
Yes, sir. That will be... it is lower than before, 16.
16. Getting closer and closer, you actually start smelling what smells like burning oil.
I love that my passive perception is actually bigger than the roll I rolled.
You smell burning oil. Smells like refuse and litter. And you kind of look around, you start seeing that there is this kind of shit, quite literally, just kind of scattered about the street here and there.
Oh, this is not exactly the best place for hygienic standards.
And you start seeing what looks to be signs or such. It look to be you see carved into bits of the sides of walls and such what look to be an orcish face. Really just looks to be carved into the side of these, trying to denote territory or something.
Good to see that these guys are as imaginative as ever. But yeah, we're closing in on them.
The actual writing or just like symbols?
As I said, it's an orc's face.
It's a literal face carved into the side of a wooden wall.
It's a face carved into a stone or wooden wall.
Well, I guess we found the person we're looking for.
Yeah, so I guess let's be a bit more careful.
I mean, we can do two things. We can either draw attention to ourselves, and they will come out at some point to see what all the ruckus is about, or we try to sneak our way through.
So great. These alleys, they're pretty. They're pretty condensed, right?
They're pretty dense. Most of them are roughly maybe 5-6 feet wide, so enough for you guys to come through. The reason these orcs were lifting that heavy, pretty much catapult stone, was because it wasn't an alleyway anymore. It was pretty much like a back street opening in between buildings.
Yeah, but right now we're just in a network of alleyways. Yeah,
you're in a network of alleyways.
I mean, if we wanted to draw attention, right here would probably be a good space, wouldn't it? I mean, they ain't getting past me easily.
Well, so are we setting up here and just drawing attention, mowing them down as they come?
I suppose.
assuming that won't be that difficult.
Alright, well.
Just like taking a short
Valid.
glance to the sides. Is
Yeah.
there any like vantage point that Nim and Valis could take?
Yeah, like my suggestion is we climb up onto the sides. We have like we go into. I'm guessing there's buildings around here, right? Are any of the doors open?
Most of the building doors have just been either removed or destroyed. So yeah, it's pretty easy to go into them.
Nim is gonna step inside and look for a table.
Look for furniture in a destroyed city. Good luck. Go ahead and make me an investigation check.
Yes, he wants to share his baked goods with the orcs.
He's just gonna sit down at the table and go, okay, so these are the peace negotiations.
Big sale.
That's a nat 20. Plus 2, 22.
Fucking goddamn it.
Why am I rolling fucking nat 20s in order to find a fucking table?
Same reason you will roll well when you want to find a bucket. The universe is having a laugh.
It's just my curse.
Apparently.
At least the table will have a better use than the bucket.
You're currently looking for the table. You find a piece of a table, 2 legs to it, as you currently see the sheer surface has been cracked and broken in multiple places. You see the most, able section of this table is currently maybe about 2.5 feet long, with the legs still functioning, 2 of them at least.
Is the entire table there but destroyed, or is it just that piece?
It's just that piece. The rest of it's pretty much completely destroyed.
Right. Okay, so what is... I'm imagining basically half a table.
Yeah.
Alright. Well, this will do. He's gonna, like, take that piece and just carry it outside.
Okay, so you all watch as you see Nim carrying half a table.
Hey Nim.
How heavy would it be?
Yeah, that'd be a question, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Like half a table made of wood.
Ma-
What, like?
Mainly what I want to do is set up the like this half of the table with the
Mhm.
legs just parallel to the floor and the actual like table itself going upwards in order to provide some form of cover.
Oh, so you're just gonna like put it up as
We're
cover?
literally just gonna siege up this.
All right, so you're gonna go over, put this table literally in the middle of this alleyway, okay,
So like, hold on.
and crouch behind it. Understood.
No, not crouch. Like I would be up. Okay, so may I draw really quick?
Yes, go for it.
Okay, so oh wait, I don't know how to draw.
Ladies and
Great.
gentlemen, he doesn't know how to draw.
Great premise, I guess. But yeah, like while Nim is doing all this, Grot is just looking at him with this like utter fascination of like, I mean, there's probably some purpose to it, but
How long is the alleyway?
Alleyway itself, maybe about 6 feet wide at its most.
I mean, like the length, total length of it, in order to draw an accurate line.
So total length,
Yeah.
this one be about 30 feet.
30 feet. So
It's a pretty short alleyway.
it'd be something like this, correct?
Yeah.
Alright, well, he basically just set up the table here.
Okay.
Draw a nice little half a table. It's like, it might not be much, but I do believe it should help in deviating some stray arrows from hitting your legs.
either that or it's gonna take one strike of a battle axe. But you know,
Yeah.
the
I mean,
thought
it's mostly just,
it's the thought that counts.
it's mainly just to provide cover. Since it
You
would,
you say that to someone who has a giant fucking tower shield in his right hand, just like
we can stack more AC onto that.
just like I will be the fortress.
With half cover, you will have +2 to your AC as well.
Yeah, I'd be at a flat 20.
So how is this going to work? Are we just positioning both of our range characters on buildings? While
Yeah.
Yeah, you're basically going to be peeking
Basically,
out of windows, like
both of
providing
us
cover
will, like-
fire, and
Yeah,
Grod's just going to be standing there taunting them, going, "Hey, you little fucking piss heads, get over here!"
Oh, then I got a surprise withdrawal with them.
basically
Don't worry
something like
about
that.
You don't have to worry, but at the same time, it's gonna be funny.
Okay, so you guys go and mount up onto the top of these buildings. So go ahead and both of you make me an acrobatics check. Just trying to get up to the top of these buildings safely.
Well,
fucking anything up.
Grod's going to give guidance to Valis. He looks like he needs
Okay.
it.
Say
I got
12.
16 without guidance.
So yeah,
For me, I could hold on. Yeah, I'm gonna cast guidance on myself first, and then start climbing up.
Okay.
Oh, right. I almost forgot. He kind of turns around a moment, looks at Grog, and starts to cast something. Hold on, let me get the name for it. Because it'll be fun for him.
uh-oh.
Right, that's gonna be a 16 for me. 10 plus 2 plus 4.
All right. So, as you guys all just managed to get yourselves up on top of the building, Nim, you nearly fail, but with a saving grace, you just kind of just get onto the edge of pretty much the edge of this rooftop and manage to haul yourself up. And both of you stay there. Grod currently watches both of them somewhat struggle and then eventually get up to the top of these buildings. What do you want to do?
Well, he's going to wait until both of his companions are in position, and after Valis has cast whatever spell he has cast, Grod doesn't know, he's just going to start, once, he looks over, waits for a sign of confirmation that they're ready.
I'm just gonna give a nod.
And Valis nods, and he has this spell in his hand, and he's just looking at Grog with this giant smile.
Oh boy. So Grod just takes his mace and takes his shield, bangs them together as loud as possible.
So
And-
essentially, pretty much Predator style, like with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yep, and
Yeah.
you just hear him fucking bleating in the loudest orcish you've ever heard him screaming.
You guys
Like
just hear
you hear
as
just guttural
Grod starts
noises.
banging on his tower shield with his mace.
And you just hear him curse like a sailor.
Make me an intimidation check.
This is what
Alright.
I'm imagining right now. Look how
You
the
know
light.
what? I'm gonna send it to Grape because he's gonna cast it as he's doing this.
Let's
Aaron,
see.
is
That's
this accurate?
that's-
Is this accurate for the?
first up.
roll?
That's a 15, 13 plus 2. Wait,
15.
am I? Let's see. What is this?
Grod, as you're doing this, you feel something
Yep,
try
that's
and
about
overtake
right.
you, like a spell. You feel something overtake you. Do you want it to go through, or do you want it to try and resist?
You trust Valis well
Alright.
enough to let it go through.
As you are there, your 6'1" becomes 12'2".
Oh
As suddenly
jeez.
you swell in size, and you sound like fucking Godzilla. It's just ah, and you just when you grow, it becomes deeper, and it becomes much like the bellow of a horn, just echoing through the city. Suddenly, what was once peaceful and quiet now suddenly erupts as the orcs respond. Yep.
I'm
The
gonna
same
send-
cry. There's a pause for a moment as you stop, Grod, and suddenly you hear the orcs respond with a "Whoa!" from across the city, and you think you've gotten their attention.
Yep, and he's gonna ready himself. The first thing that comes into range, into melee range, will get whacked with the mace.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry. Nim is preparing a guiding bolt, and he is ready to shoot it at the first thing after the first creature. So the second creature.
you should take a look, Nadam, of what I sent you.
Yeah,
It'll help.
Yep, it's a enlarge reduce, right? So
Yeah.
basically, you see his fucking frame just squeezed in this alley, and
Alright.
he has.
So as you're
he now has
currently
an-
there, your massive frame, quite literally now a massive frame, you are just about like maybe a head distance away from the rooftops that they're on, and you can pretty much just look up and see their boots. It's
I
you're
imagine, like, you hear this noise, you turn the corner ready to fight, and you see this giant ass creature looking down on you.
as this is happening, you hear the sound of what sounds like heavy footsteps. Like it sounds like there are a lot of something coming down and filtering through the city. You hear more cries throughout the city. You hear wah! You hear get 'em, boys! And you hear drums, and you start hearing what sounds like chanting. And it seems whatever's left of these orcs are definitely on their way.
Well, boys, remember, the Forgotten Realms has no Geneva Convention.
And as this happens, in the alleyway in front of you, oh god, Grodd, you see what looks to be about 6 orcs turn the corner and immediately stop, and then look up.
Could he roll intimidation?
Yeah,
For-
that's what I want him to do. Go ahead, roll me some
Okay.
intimidation.
All
As these
right.
orcs are currently standing there, their blood's boiling, but they just see something massive.
May I cast guidance for that intimidation?
So I'm getting a D4 on top, huh?
I'll say sure. He's close enough where you can reach over the building and just
Just
tap
like,
the side of his head. Sure.
Yeah.
kneels down, taps him on the shoulder, like on the head. That's without guidance, that's a 21, 19 plus 2. With the guidance, it's a 23.
Yeah, it's as you stand there, you pretty much point your mace out at him, and then you go, "Come on, I'm waiting." And these orcs just immediately, boss! And they turn and start running. Boss!
So, is anyone in a 10-foot range of me? And trying to run away.
They are scattering.
Oh, okay.
These orcs turned and saw you, and they are scattering.
If
You
we had
know
set up
what?
a table 100
Can I cast another spell?
What would you like to cast?
He looks at Grog and it's just like, why don't you go get them? He taps him on the other side of the shoulder and casts Ace.
Oh my
Oh,
god!
No. Oh no!
So,
What do you want to do? What do you want to do, Grodd?
I have a quick. Wouldn't that break a large reduce though?
are they both concentration?
I believe.
Let me check.
Let's check. If they are, I mean, it's still kind of cool, but I mean, can't have 2 concentration spells.
If it is, then I will do something else. Let's see. What can I do instead?
Yeah, it
And
is
this
a concentration.
Yeah, and this opens up into a large street. So
Enlarge reduces concentration
Actually,
and
wait. Roll these on easy to turn. No, can't use that up for him because of concentration.
yeah, haste is also concentration.
Wait,
Then,
yeah, we now have huge Grodd.
big Grog.
Let's
We now have huge
see.
Grodd.
What can
And,
What can I
just
give
a little
him?
bit smaller.
Yeah, I mean,
Yes,
you would
huge
just be
Grodd.
double. You'd be double the size.
Yeah.
Yeah, huge Grodd.
You know what? Fuck it. Yeah.
Let's see. What can I give him that would be beneficial? Grog is wearing armor, right?
He's wearing chainmail, yeah.
Yeah, he's wearing chainmail.
Okay, so I can't use that.
Oh, would you want to give him mage armor?
You know what? I could tap him, give him jump.
Oh no, the Incredible Hulk.
Essentially, that can
You know
work.
what? You know what? I will cast Nog Strider on him as well.
You touch a creature, the creature jumps a distance is tripled until the spell ends.
Okay.
So,
So suddenly, Grodd, you are filled and pumped with about as many magic symptoms as someone who might be taking 7 different doses of LSD.
I didn't know that we
And-
were at the Tour de France with all
Yeah,
these
you
steroids you're
suddenly-
giving me.
Suddenly, your eyes kind of just become enraged in the sight of just pure speed. And suddenly you feel like you can catch up with those orcs.
Yeah, and Grodd takes that opportunity. He uses his action to dash. Like he basically like takes a running start and just leaps.
All right. So you and the buildings around you start shaking. You start hearing as some of the better construed buildings start crumbling to pieces as you start moving through and these heavy footsteps start shaking the walls. And just as you jump, go ahead and make me an athletics check.
All right, I do have advantage on that because of enlarge reduce, right?
So we have this giant orc moving at 40
Half orc.
feet.
Half orc.
Yeah, a giant
Full
half orc
speed
moving at
jumping,
40
which is
feet.
tripled.
Yep.
So you step out into the roadway.
We created
That
a
is-
freaking mini
That
nuke.
is a
Yeah,
20.
Oh,
Wait,
it's
let me
just
check.
literally just the Hulk.
Yeah, that is a 22, by the way. So
22. So suddenly, what was a gaggle of orcs, about 6 of them, as they are currently attempting to flee from you, you just and you use both your you just hop over them, and you and the ground around you shakes. You create a small indentation with your weight. And these orcs just immediately start scattering again. They start trying to backpedal, and some of them actually fall over each other.
Right, but
And
as
you
they're
currently
trying,
just stand there.
they're trying to backpedal, I would like to cast Moonbeam right here.
oh my god.
Oh god,
Uh,
this is the situation with the goblins again, but next level. Fucking hell.
Moonbeam is only 5 feet, so
It's
you
a
would only
5
be able to.
foot. No. It's a 5-foot radius, meaning 10 feet diameter.
That's fair. Yeah.
Yeah, and he
So,
is enlarged.
Anyway, as it comes down, the rift opens once again and crashes down. The orcs are looking behind them, looking at you, and Grodd, from your new perspective, you can actually see there are more orcs coming down this direction.
You just
Oh, yeah,
you
where
just
is,
hear Grodd bellowing in like very deep common now. They've got some backup, boys. Let's take care of these ones first then. And you just see him like he just lifts
play
his
whack-a-mole.
mace and he just like just baseball batting basically. Like he's
Go ahead,
batting the
make an
first
attack.
one in front of him.
Make an attack. Go ahead, play whack-a-mole.
Come on, that's a 16.
Hits.
All right,
Go ahead and roll
and
some damage.
that is a d6, and I need a d4 for the extra and large reduced damage. That is 9 damage, bludgeoning.
9. So as you bring your mace up, this orc is looking at you like he's looking at the fist of God coming down on him. And I'll just say, I have my own kind of homebrew thing for enlarge reduce. I'll tell you about it later. But you
Okay.
bring this mace down and whack! You pretty much do the old Doom meme where you bring the head into his shoulders, and you suddenly
Heck
see
yeah.
his shoulders then go down into his ribs, and suddenly he becomes a very squat orc, and he just
Here comes the
immediately
goblin.
shrinks, just whack, and this orc just falls over, and the other orcs are immediately just turning around and trying to run as well.
Stealth is optional.
Yeah, and once he's whacked the first one, he's gonna move forward up to the next
Okay.
one, just in case he tries to
I'll
run
go
away.
ahead
He's
and
like
have all
lumbering.
you roll me some initiative again.
All right.
Good God.
You.
You absolute goons.
I mean, that's how it's
Oh,
how it has
that's
to be,
only
right?
one of the- Look, if this is gonna be a one shot, I'm not pulling fucking punches.
I am not
This is-
either.
I was about to say, I don't think we're pulling punches at this point.
Rowan
is
is
ball
like
is so
Rowan is optimized for roleplay, but Nim is just fucking fighting only.
Understood. All right.
This is
So-
when this is when you give your party too much power at level 5.
I have not been giving you too much power. One shots are meant to be fun. You guys are fucking it up. It's good. I love it. All right. So 20 to 15.
21.
Oh,
20,
stand corrected.
21, 20.
So I got a 9 plus 10.
This time I sadly don't have that high of an initiative. I'm down at a 14.
14. All right.
He would still get opportunity attacks on the last 3.
Yep, because he moved forward.
Oh no,
with
he only
purpose.
gets 1 though.
Yeah,
Although-
Yeah,
one.
because of reactions.
All right, but you still technically, out of initiative order, you still have your action as they're turning to try and run. It takes them a while to turn around and get their momentum back. So you will get your second attack.
Yep. Let's go. Ah, fiddlesticks. That's an
Right.
11.
The being with the power of God and anime on his side.
Just imagine him like trying to swing, but it just gets caught in a building.
Yeah,
ripping
it just
the
like
thing
he
off.
hits like a beam that's sticking out of the rubble, and it just gets deflected.
No,
Alright.
he just tears through it. Like,
What did you roll to hit?
I rolled an 11.
11. Yeah, so that misses. So as you swing your mace down, and this orc turns around just in time and manages to dive out of the way, and your mace continues and whack slams into the ground. Bits and pieces of cobbled stone and rubble just immediately sprout out as if some sort of explosion just happened. And with the force of pretty much just the force of this mace head, you see as the street now is a divot roughly about 1.5 feet deep. All right. So now we're back to the initiative order. Nim, you're up first.
So I'm guessing we are both located here and like on these 2.
Yes.
Right. Nim is going to run through the building until he finds a window on this side over here,
Mm-hmm.
and
Pretty easy to do.
he is gonna use a use of wild shape to go into his star form of the archer.
Okay. So I'll go
And-
ahead and put you guys down. You would be just about here on this roof, so I'll go ahead and put you up here. I love these height markers. I love these height markers.
They're really, really good.
I'm
And-
so happy I found them.
And he is gonna shoot the first arrow at this orc with his bow.
Go for it.
That is a 11 to hit.
11 misses. So as you release the arrow, you see as it impacts into the armor and just kind of cascades off in starlight. Just
And right after the arrow, a second shimmering arrow flies with it.
oh, my bad. I thought you were using the shimmering arrow first. My
No.
apologies. So
I said the bow first.
oh, okay. Got it.
Okay.
So the bow, the arrow impacts into the armor, and the armor manages to do its job and resist the arrow.
The second arrow, shimmering, flies in with a nat 20.
Oh my
Let me get
god.
a card.
I have a question. Is nat 20 damage doubled?
I said, let me get a card.
Okay.
He does cards, not.
You can double the damage if you want, or you can take a card.
What do cards do?
The cards have a chance to quadruple your damage and impose disadvantage on the enemy.
I will take the card.
And let me shuffle. All right. So drawing a card for you. And this is a magical attack, correct?
This is, yes, it is magical and it does radiant damage.
Radiant.
So it would do
Alright.
1d8 plus my wisdom modifier as damage.
So, big boom. Double max damage. If this attack deals force damage or thunder damage, the target is pushed back 1d4 times 5 feet. If it is large or smaller, taking 1d6 bludgeoning damage for every 5 feet traveled.
It is radiant damage, sadly.
Sadly.
Okay, so 2 times max damage.
Yep.
That
Double
would be-
max damage.
That's 24 damage.
So as the first arrow impacts, you see the orc kind of smiles at he's happy his armor did its job, and then immediately sees a radiant arrow just whack and drives a hole right through his chest.
Gee.
And he's dead. So just as he's coming forward, he just trips over his feet and skitters forward onto the stone.
Yeah, that would be the end of my turn.
All right. So ending your turn is then Volus. Volus, what would you like to do?
Okay, so wait.
It's the reinforcements. We have these pins.
I just need to do a little bit of a count from which ones are dead. Here's my question.
All right. So, dead? Actually, no, that
No,
one.
that one's
got
alive.
missed.
There's one
This
dead.
one's dead.
There's one
This
dead
one's
under
dead here,
under foot of
and
Grodd.
there's one dead under him.
Okay. So.
Okay.
Okay. This is enough. Volus is going to move this way. 10, 15, 20, 25. And I'm going to bonus action Misty Step to right here. And with my last 3rd level spell slot, I'm going to cast Tidal Wave.
Oh, good God.
From
So as you come down, you land behind him, and as you spread your arms out, the width of this, you see is pretty much in a Moses-like gesture. Your arms just encompass the entirety of it, and you watch as a wall of water erupts from the ground.
Oh my God.
foot water, 10 foot by 5, 10, 15, because it could be up to 30. So
Mhm.
it's essentially just Grog
Just
can
quite
see a
literally
giant
wall
wave.
of water. Quite
Just
literally
coming
just
from-
a wall of water.
I love that you're just driving them all into the moonbeam.
All right, so this is a dex save or a con save or a
It
strength
is
save?
a dex. It is
Dex
dex.
save. All right, so save on 1.
At this
That
point,
is a 13.
Let me just check what
Just
it
what's your
takes.
DC? What's your DC?
My DC?
Your spell save DC.
Oh, okay. My spell save DC is a 15.
So number 1 fails, number 2 fails, number 3 fails, number 4 fails.
Oh my
And
God.
then all of the other orcs down here going towards the foot of Grodd. Fail. Fail. Fail.
Oh my
My
God.
dice hate me today. Fail. My dice hate me. Fail.
Oh
And the
my
last one.
God.
And I miss.
The last one makes it with an exact 16. Let's go.
Okay, so what happens? What happens with it is, let me
Good
pull out
God.
let me pull out the spell.
Or I should say, good God. They're at your foot.
For Tidal Wave, it is if they make it, they take half damage and isn't knocked prone. So everyone else takes
They all just get
48.
immediately put. Yeah.
They
How
get
much?
48 and knocked prone.
4d8. 4d8.
Okay, I was about to say, if it's 48 force damage, or is it bludgeoning?
Bludgeoning.
Oh wow, okay,
All
that's
right,
pretty
and they are
strong.
And they are pushed the entire length of the line, correct?
Yep. So
Alright. So the corpses and the orcs themselves are just immediately gaggle fucked
Yeah.
right into an entire position right here.
really quick, if any of these ones were still alive,
let me roll the
they also
damage.
go through Moonbeam.
Yeah, they have to go through the moonbeam. Well, actually, only half of them, so 5
Yeah.
of them do.
Yeah, so 5 of them would have to also roll a Constitution saving throw.
Okay,
All
let
right.
me.
So on top of that, we then have the con saves. Number 1, that's a 5, plus 2 is 7.
Nope.
15
Nope. Oh wait, that makes
makes it big.
yeah.
Meets it, beats it. 6,
No.
6,
No.
and 11.
No.
So one of them makes it, the others fucking fail.
Okay,
So,
I
hold on.
rolled the damage. Do you
How much did
really
they
want to?
take?
Aside from the
How
one
much did
orc
they
take
fucking take?
27.
Oh my god!
So you suddenly watch as this tidal wave of orcs just comes towards you, Grodd. And they land at your feet, and you currently see some of them are still twitching and alive. Somewhat.
Right. Any of them that pass through the moonbeam also take 17
but
radiant damage.
and then they die after they hit the moonbeam.
Oh my god!
Just watches a fucking massacre.
Really quick, the one that made it still takes 8 damage.
Yeah,
Oh my
I
God.
understand. So the 4 of them are still dead, as they currently just get shoved over. So
So
that
wait.
one's dead too.
So it
So,
would be
Grodd, at your foot, there is currently just a fuckload of orcs that are prone, unable to move, and low health.
Oh my god!
the one person that did survive.
Oh, he
no, the one
stabbed them.
person that.
This guy, the one at the end of the fucking line. This guy.
He isn't prone. He isn't prone. He did
He's
take.
not prone. He's just trying to turn to run and gets met in the face by a wall of water. And he's currently standing between quite literally a rock and a hard place right now.
Yep. So,
Time to see your fucking god.
yeah, I was about to say, so 4 of them are prone, right?
Let's see. Prone. 1, 2, 3. Yep, they're prone. I'll go ahead and mark which ones are prone.
Does Grodd go before the horde of orcs?
Technically, since the other orcs that were supposed to go before you are dead, no, they don't. You don't need to worry about this. So
Okay. Yeah,
these 4
Grodd's
orcs are prone, and you have the one in front of you.
Grodd's just gonna go to the one in front of him. Now watch closely. This is what's gonna happen to you. And he's gonna take his mace
Okay.
and with a full swing just batter down on one of the prone orcs.
Go ahead and make an attack at advantage.
And this is how you play orcs. I mean, what?
You have to be shitting me.
Uh-oh.
With advantage,
It's a-
I get an 11. It's a 3 out of 5.
You were aiming for a prone orc, and as you aim down, you slam into one of the dead ones, and the body just becomes a sack of tissue.
Can I spin this as an intimidation check?
Sure, go ahead and make me an intimidation check.
All right. Okay, I'm going to take a nudie 20 for that because the other ones have betrayed me too often.
Right, these 2 groups of orcs.
This is how you make orcs serve you. At
This
this
is
Good
how
thing.
This is how you make them piss their pants.
Good thing I'm proficient. That's a 12.
12.
That's I've rolled a 3, a 5, and a 7 in one turn. I feel cheated.
I'm sorry.
It's fine. It's
I
just
literally didn't roll above a 6.
I know.
For
It's
most
just
of those saves.
it's
So
just
don't
hilarious
even
that
talk to
this
me about
happens.
it.
I know. It's just
All right.
man.
So, as you bring this mace down and whack, crack it down in front of him, you currently see as these orcs are, those that are prone are looking up to you as if the fear of God has just been put into them. The others the one who's standing at you is currently standing there much like a guy from Monster Hunter would. He's just kind of standing there unfazed, and it seems his vigor has been renewed.
And he just like in an attempt to save it just goes, and you're next.
All right. So,
I just went from Nim to snipe.
does that end your turn?
Yeah, it does.
All right. So now it's this orc, this last orc, who is, or actually, no, it's him and his group. So they're all going to try and stand up and run. So he's turning around to try and run. It's 5, 10, 15, 20.
Right back into
25,
the
30.
moonbeam.
He goes through the moonbeam. These guys don't know it's there. They just know they got hit by a wall of water. 50, 20, 25, 30.
Oh, that's great.
50, 20, 25,
Yes,
30.
they're coming for that death.
And then this one is just currently standing there in front of Grodd. And he goes down and just kind of spits out a tooth and he looks at you.
He would still get an AOP on one of the ones 10 feet away.
Oh, yeah, you would.
Yeah, I would. Let's see how that goes.
Go ahead and make me an attack.
That's a 16.
16 hits. Go ahead and roll me some damage.
Fucking finally! Where did I put my d4? Oh, there it is.
The way you said that.
Oh, that one's cocked.
Fucking finally.
Okay, that's 6, 8 plus another 3, 11 damage.
You bring the mace down and crack it over this back, and suddenly what was once a sturdy back of an orc suddenly becomes just jello. And you see his orc is trying to run until everything that in his nervous system just stops working, as his spine is literally shattered into bits and tiny little bone fragment pieces.
I could get used to this.
And he is dead. Very much so dead.
Oh god, Grape.
They're running through the moonbeam, you say?
They're running through the moonbeam.
Grape.
Yes.
You know, it'd be horrible
What?
if Valus was actually in the other team with Topaz, and Topaz just gets enlarged. That'd be scary shit. Chainsaw Part 2, enlarged chainsaw. But
Yeah.
I believe it's now
All right.
Nim's
So,
turn.
yeah, Nim, go ahead and roll me some damage for the moonbeam. Because these guys are pretty much fucking toast, no matter how they look at it, because they're running through moonbeam at pretty much null and void health.
He misses everything and just gives 1 damage to each. So is this orc dead? The one in front of Grog?
No, he's the only one who's
No,
been
he's
like
still just alive.
he's the one that's been spared by almost everything.
Almost is the key term.
Yep.
Damn, Valus just pushed them all into oblivion. It literally was the rock and the hard place.
Yep.
And Nim just looks at
And
them.
Nim, the damage.
This is why you don't fight in a corridor
Oh,
street with a straight
Oh
line.
god, it's max damage!
Oh my
20
god!
damage.
As these orcs try and run through, you just see as they turn to ash.
Holy shit!
Just turn to ash. Just
We need ash though, we still need those ears.
Well, not like he can do much. That just
Yeah.
scorched beyond belief.
Get burnt by moonbeam, by moonlight.
I can't believe Nim just literally went,
Torn
"Come,
open
Kingdom
rift
Hearts!"
As it just continues to burn them down. I think it's, what would it be called? Zeta Flare?
Yeah, it's fucking Zeta Flare. Oh my
Yeah, so
god.
suddenly Donald Duck calling down Zeta Flares. He points his wand out. And you just see as these 3 orcs just become ash.
Nim, we were supposed to keep them intact, or at least their heads.
And then Grodd. You currently have an orc trying to attack you. He has a great axe and he's going to use it. So this is a dirty 20 to hit, which I think is exactly what he needed, right? To break the AC, Grodd.
How much?
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's more than enough. Grod's AC is 18.
Oh, okay. And then a 4. So no.
Okay, so
So
only the first
as-
attack goes.
Actually, no. Oh fuck, that's a natural 1. 1 second.
Oh boy.
I need a card.
Actually, Nim, I'm gonna ask you to do something.
Yeah.
All right. So
What's up?
Grodd. It's Grodd. It's your lucky day.
Oh.
The card that has been drawn is Give an Inch. Those of you within 5 feet of this creature may make an opportunity attack. And if you hit, you may continue to make attacks
Oh my.
until you stop hitting.
Oh my lord.
He still hits you with the first one, but he's fucked.
For how much did he hit?
You take 7 points of slashing damage.
you just see him like take the axe to the, oh, what is it? Does he wield a greatsword?
He takes it
Well,
the axe to
it's
the
an axe.
shin.
Yeah, he takes the axe to the shin and just goes, "Okay, now let me show you how it's done."
As it impacts into your chainmail, you see as it just manages to cut through some of the enlarged chain, and you see as the orc pulls it out with a renewed sense of vigor and stares up at you with a fierce depravity in his eyes. He looks like he's ready to fight you, and then you just kind of, my turn.
Let's
Bring
see.
your club over. Go ahead and make an attack.
Oh boy, that's
Looking
a
DMs real quick.
that's a
Looking DMs.
24.
That hits. Go ahead and make it. Go ahead and roll some damage.
Yeah,
So that's
There.
7 damage on the first hit. Wait
And then
up.
You can make another one.
Yep. This time he's just gonna actually kick him like a soccer ball.
Unarmed
for it.
attack.
Go for it.
Ah, damn it, that's an 8.
8. Well,
Yeah.
The the 8 is what you needed. He was dead anyway. I was just trying to find out what you wanted to do.
Okay.
So as you whack, you bring this club over him, you pretty much shatter his left arm, and it just pretty much comes off and is holding together by a few strands of tissue and flesh. And he just looks up at you with a fierce determination to his eyes still, and he looks like his axe in one hand, and he looks up at you, and he just sees your foot coming at him, and he just closes his eyes. You hear him whisper something in Orcish until your foot connects with his chest, and you feel the bone just shatter inward.
Oh my
and he goes
god.
flying with a pretty much like a free kick through the air.
Heck yeah. I hope he goes flying far enough to like come near Valis.
You see as he flies through. You see as he passes through the moonbeam and turns ash.
God. Damn it. Jesus Christ.
You just see Voss just walk up, look at the movie, and he's just like, "You think we overdid it?" And then,
Well, do you think any others are gonna go? This also happened in the span of 6 seconds.
This was actually like what, 2 turns?
No, like
Well-
that was the orc's turn where he had.
Oh
attacked
my
you.
god.
So it was technically 6 seconds again.
Just an absolute massacre.
this is what happens when you actually want to fight.
Well, shall we wait for the reinforcements? I mean,
Got nothing
we did
else
make
to do.
we did make quite a ruckus.
I suppose after a while the enlarge, reduce, and everything wears off.
It does.
Yeah.
Don't mind me.
All right. So as this happens, these orcs are now sufficiently very much dead. The moonbeam fizzles out as the rift closes.
And with the snap of his fingers, Volk just essentially just shortens Brock back down to normal size.
Grodd, you suddenly become. It's almost a sense of vertigo as the size and height is taken from you, and you become normal again.
He's like, no, my power.
Well, now
Why-
you're
why are
making
you
it a
shortening?
tad small.
As he said, no, my powers, I had to make him shorter.
Oh, no, my power.
But yeah, like
All right,
you
as-
see him
as this
stumble a bit.
happens, and you kind of stumble around and you look by. You guys hear the sound of what sounds like heavy armor, just kind of clink, clink, clink.
Can we identify how many people there are? Is it only one
Just
person?
one.
Oh, okay.
And coming from this direction, let me mark out. Coming from this direction, you see what looks to be one last orc.
Oh my god.
And as it shuffles around, you currently see as he just, in a heavy plated armor, you suddenly just see as a clank, 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 clank. He looks down the alleyway and sees the pile of ash, and the rest of the orcs currently just piled together at the base of Grodd's, pretty much what used to be his large form.
How long after the massacre would this be?
Few moments. He just arrived to the fight late.
Oh, sorry guys, I was getting some beers. What the fuck?
It's just the boss comes out.
Valis,
You
Hey.
killed my boys. You
That-
killed all my boys.
Valis, haste me.
He nods.
I can't-
Nah. I'm just gonna kill you. And as he draws out this looks to be a nasty looking giant cleaver, go ahead and end today's game there.
All right.
As we are at our limit for today's time. My apologies.
Damn, the
That was
one-shot
fun, though.
cliffhanger.
It was real fun.
That was literally a one shot.
Yeah, it was. It really, really was. I hope you guys enjoyed.
I think Rick
Oh,
just
definitely.
didn't want us to do a 6-second kill this boss. That's what I feel like.
I just feel this was like a perfect little lead up with a little role play. Like everyone seemed competent and thoughtful, and then we get into combat, and everything just goes immediately into full bedlam.
I told you that this would make the Geneva Convention into a checklist.
You know what been the funny thing is? We've also probably just charmed the orc boss, tell him to go away, and the moment he turns around, scorching ray. I mean, what?
Hear me out. You haste me, and I can make 2 attacks on it, as well as the bonus archer form.
Oh
and
my
just disengage from
God.
it afterwards.
So how?
Well, damn.
I love.
just
I
realized
love
that-
how this party is just. How disgusting do you want this to be? Yes.
Yes, and the worst part is now Grape knows how dangerous I can make my character.
Same here.
Now
I know.
everyone knows how bad my dice luck is. I guess. Because geez.
I was
Horrible.
saving that tidal wave for the main thing because I felt like there would be a 1 point something where we had to
Anywho,
go through.
as
Oh.
we end today's game, those of you on Twitch, hello, welcome.
To the massacre.
Welcome to
Yeah,
this
well-
train wreck. I guess.
Welcome to the train wreck that is just slaughtering a DM's one shot. Nonetheless, those of you on Twitch, I hope you guys enjoyed if you sticked all the way through, or even if you're just coming in. For the few moments that you came through, if you want to see what happened to just kind of prevail the rest of this, or even what happened, you can go ahead and check out the video once it's posted onto Twitch. If you want to go ahead and check anything else out from the actual campaign we've been running, we did a one-shot since we didn't have enough people today. But if you want to check that out, you can also check out the YouTube that he has. And you can also go ahead and, if you have any questions or so about anything that's going on, or even if you want to check out more of this, you can go ahead and check out Behemoth's Discord. And I believe he has a link for that, I think.
Yeah, there's a link below the player, and there's also our good old command in case you do want to join using the link in the chat.
Awesome. But anyway, I do hope that all of you enjoyed coming to our little escapade here today. As we go ahead and end today, I'll go ahead and say I really hope you guys enjoyed.
Oh,
And I'll go ahead and hand
absolutely.
it off to Behemoth to round off what he can do for you guys.
Thank you very much. And first off, thank you, Grape, for putting this together on such short notice.
Sorry.
And like genuinely, I enjoyed it a lot. I don't know about you guys.
Now we have something to pick up once we don't have a game.
Yeah, I suppose we do have a little part 2 for this. I still need to figure out if I want to give this like a separate title or something. I have nothing in mind right now, so the title is just D&D One-Shot. But you know,
You just make a one shot.
D&D One-Shot, literally.
Instead of Goblin Slayer, it's going to be Orc Slayer.
Yeah.
The final thing the orcs see before seeing their god.
Oh my god. But yeah, anyways, I want to thank everyone for tuning in. I saw that some people joined in, and I'm sorry for not responding, but that's sadly just how D&D goes. You know, you don't get much leeway of just muting yourself, going, "Hey, how's it going in chat?" Chat interactivity during D&D is a bit limited. During other streams, it's a lot better, I hope. I'm not sure. Especially given that there are currently not really other streams right now. I'm still in the middle of figuring out what I even want to like do and complete, if I'm going to continue the new threat playthrough, or if we're going to maybe start playing through Final Fantasy VII Remake now that I own a capture card. Anyway, if you want to check out more D&D, Saturdays at around 8 to 8:30 p.m. Central European Time, or around 4 to 2 to 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time. From there, I'm not sure about the rest of the time zones, but you can probably calculate it from there. And there will be uploads on YouTube. I've been slacking a bit, and I will take care of that. Session 34 should be up in the next day or two, and I will upload this one shot alongside it, hopefully. So, hope you all enjoyed, and have a lovely day or evening or whatever. Cheers.